So, I mean, I've I think it's really interesting to hear some of the lessons that you learned in college, and I don't know if there's others that you had, or I'm also thinking about as we're preparing for child 1 and child 2 to kind of get ready for college, and even if they don't quite know exactly what it is they're going to go to school for, or where they want to go or what they want to do, are there things that you're thinking would really be helpful for us to help support them?
Yeah. Well, welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Doing swell. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to be by you.
Yeah, we took a week off for my birthday.
Yeah.
A little bit of, just got to have fun last weekend instead of recording.
Yeah. And we are actually next to each other.
Yes, instead of in like little Zoom boxes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the studio again.
Mm-hmm.
So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about maybe, I don't know how to frame it, if it's lessons learned from college so I'll tell you where I'm at.
Okay.
So child 1 just finished taking the ACT. He got his scores back. He got his first email from a college asking him to apply and engage with them and learn more, actually from our alma mater. I think that's really cool that the first email he got was from our alma mater.
Yeah.
But so he's been talking to me a lot about, I don't know what to go to school for. I don't know, what do I like? What do I don't?
He's saying that to you?
Yeah, well, maybe I'm asking him those things.
And he's going, I don't know, bro.
A little bit. Because, I really like science. I said, well, science is great.
Yeah.
Because I'm good at math, but I don't know if I like it, And so, so he and I have been talking a lot. And I know on the podcast, we've talked quite a bit about my journey into higher ed and how I also thought I knew what I wanted to do, then didn't know what I wanted to do, and then found myself and kind of where I wanted to be for the rest of my life. That sounds...
Yeah.
What? Does that sound too...
You have it all figured out, huh?
Well, I don't have it all figured out.
You seem like you do.
Well, maybe. But I really do think that through college, I discovered who I was and found things I was passionate about. And so I was reminiscing a little bit, and we were talking over coffee and puzzling. And then you started talking about your journey into college. And I thought we could spend a little time starting there because you learned some lessons that I was really intrigued by.
Okay.
You okay talking about that?
Sure. Yeah. We'll just see where this goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking, and we brought up college. We were talking about college. And child 2 did his pre-ACT, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a week where it's just been college.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I think what I was reflecting on was, and kind of like what I was just joking about, is like, you seem to have a clear path.
Mm-hmm.
And my path felt like, okay, after high school, people like me should go to college. And it was because my parents hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the opportunity to, and I'm smart, right? Like, and I mean, I like that feedback from people around me. It's like, oh, you're so smart, you should go to college. But I didn't really know anything aside from that. Okay, go to college.
Right.
And so reflecting on that, the last time we were together too, like we were kind of talking about regrets a little bit. And so that it's not quite regrets in college, but what comes up for me is this feeling that's close to it, where I feel like I maybe squandered my college experience, or I didn't utilize it, kind of thing. And so it's like thoughts of like, I wasn't smart enough or good enough to know how to go through it. But now looking back with like a father's eyes and like a little more kindness for me, it's like, well, you just don't know what you don't know. And that can feel really limiting and heavy. but it's not a deficiency
Right.
kind of thing.
Well, and your college experience was different than mine too. I
Yeah.
lived in the halls
Yeah.
all 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And you were I mean, that was my work, right? I
Yeah.
did that and I was a CNA
Yeah.
on like weekends and evenings once in a while. But you worked, I don't know if it was full time, but you worked a lot.
Well, the first 2 years I was on campus, but I also worked evenings, I think 3 days a week.
Yeah.
At the job that was full time for me when I was in the summer, right? I guess anyway. And so it was part time, but it was like a full time job that I was like job sharing with my sister, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so I was off campus from noon until 9 o'clock at night. So I didn't like the old script in my head when I think about college used to be, wow, I really missed out on the college life, the experience, the things that you see in the movies, and all these things. Like, not that I should be doing all that stuff, but and I did plenty of that when I was a little older, like my junior, senior years, like hanging out, having made friends over the last few years, stuff like that. So I did it. So it's just one of those things where when I think of college, I used to think, oh man, I kind of missed out, and I was working, and I almost resented it in a way. And
resented working or resented college?
Yeah, not college. No.
Okay.
That I missed being able to just hang out and be a college kid. But that's like me getting wrapped up in like, what I hear someone say, it's like the narcissism of my own sorrow. And it's like it's a little dramatic is how I call it, right? And so I'm trying to reframe that into, well, it was my experience. And actually, so one of the things that I realized, like a strong reframe that came to me when I was thinking about this, because you're like, let's talk about college a little bit. I'm like, oh gosh, what am I going to talk about? Like, I mean, I had a great time. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound like I didn't have a good time. But so from that kind of tricky feelings I was having of like, I'm here, but I have all these excuses of why I'm not fully present here. And it's because I have to work, and I'm blaming this, and I could blame that. And I can shift that to, in spite of the obstacles, I found a way to graduate and get a degree and do the things I did do. And like, let's stop, it's kind of like, not so much of like, oh, don't sweat the small stuff. It's more of like, hey, let's not over index on the things that are hard. And while I was trying to figure out like how to describe, like, like, was I grieving that I didn't have like the typical college, like what I thought college was going to be, right? And I think we do that in life, right? Like that's when we can get upset. It's like, well, that's not what I expected, and I wanted it to be different, right? It sounds a little childish and a little naive, but that's what childness is, right? Like, and that's okay. Like, I don't need to be so embarrassed about that, even though it's like, looking back, I'm like, oh gosh, I was such a kid, and I wanted this and I wanted that, my own way. And but I didn't know what I wanted,
right?
And I still don't. Until recently, it felt like that's another script in my head. It's another script that I've been telling myself for a long time, until like now I gotta, like, luckily have you be like, well, hold on. Like, let's not just fall back into that default thing that you used to tell yourself when you're in your mid-20s, because things didn't happen as fast as you thought they were going to, or opportunities didn't just land at your doorstep.
Right.
It's like, switching to embracing what I got right, or the fact that, I did accomplish a lot, and it was probably not only in spite of, but because of my circumstances.
Right.
I found a way through, and to hold on to the fact that I did it, and there's other things. Oh, I was bringing up like the feelings around it. And so I was like trying to describe, okay, is it grief? Is it loss? Is it anger? And so then I went and I kind of like looked up, that feelings wheel.
Yeah.
It's got like 7 chunks, and then it goes out and there's like 7 things. The majority of them are all negative. It's like there's happy, there's excited, or like surprised.
Your feelings or the feelings wheel?
The feelings wheel.
Okay. Sorry.
The feelings wheel.
I'm with you.
to describe your feelings, you
Mhm.
go look at this feelings wheel, right? And it's like there's happiness,
Mhm.
there's surprise, and part of surprise is also like for me triggers like not happy, excited, like
Okay.
anxious,
Okay.
like oh I got startled,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like anger, there's fear, there's like all these things that so it's like we have a lot of words to describe when we're not feeling in a happy place,
Mhm.
and so I thought that was interesting because for a long time I was maybe not like super happy with my experience of
Okay.
like when I think of college, like, oh, I missed out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's maybe is that just because there's a lot of words to help me describe those low feelings? And
Hmm.
anyway, there was a
Interesting.
lot going on, like while I was trying to think of like what was my college experience like or like my path. And it was,
Yeah.
I think it to simplify it, we'll simplify it now.
Thank you. Sorry.
Just like I am right
Yeah.
now, it felt very meandering. Like
Okay.
I didn't have a North Star.
I
I
hear you.
didn't, again, back to that, I didn't know what I didn't know,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to get clarity.
Okay. Yeah.
Luckily enough, in college, you learn a lot of skills about communication and how to maybe think about some things that you've never thought about before. So, like, in a way, once I got a little separation and reflect, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
learned a lot of skills that help, like, so it's not all like
Right.
doom and gloom and I had a bad time. Like, I made a lot of friends. I met you, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. We met.
and we've talked about that, but when we're I think what's coming up, why the uncertainty is coming up,
Mhm.
is because we're talking about our kids and that,
Sure.
and so it's like escalating again of like I'm putting myself back into like the shoes of like what was it like when I was 17 and I didn't know what I was doing, and now the added energy of well, I ought to be able to help them navigate this more easily than I had to, kind of thing,
Mhm.
or whatever I did. Anyway, you help tether me back to whatever you want to talk about.
No, no, it's interesting. I didn't realize that you had as much question about or thoughts about kind of regret or kind of looking back and being like, gosh, I wish I would have.
Yeah, it's not regret that I went to school or anything.
Right, right.
It's more of like it was like me being down on myself for not taking advantage of the opportunity I had. Like I
Hmm.
squandered it,
Right,
or I didn't find a way to create the connections and things that would launch me into like some magnificent job that you would like in a movie, like in these stories, like these fairy
right,
tales that you see. I mean, they're basically fairy tales. It's like, oh, you follow the right path, you do the right thing, you get the good grades, and then they hand you a diploma, and then someone shakes your hand and says, hey, come work with us.
right.
Like, well, that's not really life. That's a movie.
Right.
you know? So, I mean, I just looking back, I'm like, I feel like it's that one of the things like, what was I waiting for? Like,
Hmm.
why did I, why, like, part of me is like, why did I think it was just going to happen to me? And then I have to think because that's what life was. And like, when you're a kid, everyone tells you what to do. Everyone sets the stage for you. Like,
Hmm.
our kids go to school because they're required to.
Hmm.
We make them. We do this for them. And so that
Right.
back at this transition now of you becoming an adult
Hmm.
and having to like navigate adult situations and you're still kind of a child. Like you're 18,
Yeah.
you're still pretty young when you think about it. I'm not trying to like talk down to younger adults and stuff, but it's like it's such an interesting time and it's a transition. It's a big it's a lot going on.
Yeah. So thinking about it though, looking back, you if I'm hearing you, it's kind of you're saying that you were going through this experience, you weren't quite sure what to expect.
It was a
You
whirlwind.
yeah, you almost wish that you knew or had access to kind of the secret sauce of how college should be and that you got to experience it in that way. Did you find along your path anybody that kind of either helped like guide you or take you under your wing or those because I know when I was in college there was one person in particular that I would say without a few really important conversations with him as a mentor I wouldn't even know the field I'm in right now was a field.
Right.
Right? Were there people like that during your college experience that you're like oh, wow, if I hadn't met them at the right time, the right place, I wouldn't have learned these things that really helped me um, go through that journey in a way that I see that there is real value
Yeah.
to.
I definitely have mentors that I met through college, but I don't think I didn't have that kind of pretty amazing pivotal thing that you did, which is something really unlocked for you. Like somebody really opened a door for you and like kind of helped shine a light on a possibility for you.
Yeah. Well, and I will say though, I'm just inherently, I'm a planner.
Yeah.
So, like in high school, I had a plan for what I was going to do and I had everything set up so I would go forward towards that plan. And then when
Yeah.
I realized like, oh shoot, I don't want that plan, I was able to, you're right, like this
pivoted.
pivotal.
Yeah.
But I pivoted, I'm like, okay, new plan. Here's that path.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I always feel like I've had, and I don't know if it's just me, if it's guidance from my parents, if it's both. I'm not sure, but there is like an innate.
Yeah, I think it's both.
I need to know where I'm going. I think I said that to you last week.
Yeah.
A few times, like where are we going?
Yeah. Yeah. So when you were asking me this question, and I'll get to some more specifics about, because there were some lessons learned. I needed more guidance.
Mm-hmm.
I needed some, not necessarily guardrails, but I needed more people. It would have been beneficial for me to have people coming up and shining some more lights for me of what was possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I start with like, oh, I feel like I kind of squandered it, it's because I feel like maybe I just missed the opportunities because I was off campus so often.
Sure.
I didn't have time to sink into and utilize the resources, because the resources were there. I just didn't know about them. Maybe didn't have the opportunity.
Maybe didn't have the time too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because I was driving 30 minutes away to go to work and 30 minutes back and then going to bed. And then, like I'm not trying to complain. It's just, so that's where that comes in. But anyway, so I made some really great connections with my professors. And I mostly hung out obviously in the basement of the music program, and the English department. And so was Mr. Roy your advisor?
He wasn't my advisor, but he was the
head of the department
chair. Yeah.
So he happened to be my advisor, which I think is really funny because he's, classically trained from a conservatory. And I'm like this kid that knows just enough about music theory to know what he's talking about, but not necessarily be able to articulate it at the level he would like.
Sure.
And I play guitar. I don't know how to play piano, but he was always nice to me, kind. And we've talked about him before.
Yeah.
Pivotal person. Him and my choir teacher growing up through elementary school, very pivotal, like mentors for me in music that really helped me grow as a musician, but also embrace my innate abilities that I had as a musician. And because I knew I wasn't the best at something. Right. I'm not a strong solo singer. I don't practice enough to be good. But they could see that they would tell me like, okay, you have good musicianship, like my band instructor and my choir director. And then Mr. Roy, he was nice enough to me to realize like, okay, he seems like he might be messing around, but he's not. He could see my passion. But then, so anyway, he was my advisor. And one of the things of, like I said, why I went to college was because I was smart. And that's something like I wanted to be. Like, I want to be smart. I want that to be a label associated with me, because that means that people acknowledge that I'm good at something, right? So that was one thing. So one time he was, what do they call it when you're picking your courses? He was just
advising you?
He was advising me.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to say.
Course selection.
So he was helping me pick out my courses. And this was probably maybe my sophomore year or something. And he's like, oh, well, you need a math elective. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I don't love math, but I can, I guess I'll take trig, or I don't even, it was like something like trigonometry or calculus. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess I'll take those. He's like, why? And I'm like, because I need a math elective. He's like, take activities in math. And I'm like, dude, I'm not stupid. He's like, I didn't say you were. I'm like, but, and it was like a 100 level class.
Sure.
Like, so,
Yeah.
like 300 level versus 100.
Yeah.
I saw like, well, if I take this lower course, that means I'm not smart enough to take the other ones. And he's like, no, he's like, why would you exert more effort than you need in something that you're not passionate about? And that, like, you just told me, like, math isn't like your favorite thing. You're not horrible at it, but it's not like something that you're going to excel at.
Right.
He's like, so take this class and then put your energy into theory and into composition,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, and it was like a really pivotal moment for me because
Yeah.
I have that achiever in me because I want praise. I want to be good at
Yeah.
something. And I, like most of us do. I know you and I both are achievers.
Yeah.
And so that was a really, and it kind of registered right away. Like I got over the fact that like I wasn't like stuck in like, oh, he thinks I'm stupid. It was more of like, I'm like, huh, like it really clicked like, oh, I don't, just because it's required
Yeah.
doesn't mean I have to like bend over backwards and attempt to do something that I probably can't do, like get an A+ in trigonometry. Like I'm not going to do that. Like,
Yeah.
so go get A- in activities in math, which by the way, I learned a lot of really cool stuff in
And probably practical things.
very
right?
practical.
Yeah.
And also some theory, like some really cool stuff, like really cool, interesting problem solving things that is
Sure.
not only practical, but like just if you, it kind of left you with like, so if this ever happens in the real world, you kind of might have a way to take your tape measure out and figure this out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're like, or how, I mean, one of them was like, how do you ship a fishing pole? What size box do you need, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, this is a little, feels like a word problem from like, elementary school, but
Train's going this way on the
yeah,
track at 15 miles an hour.
yeah. So that was one of the things.
That's a really good lesson though, because how often, I mean, I don't know, it resonates with me. I just think, how often have I spent time doing things? And sometimes you're right. You just have to get things done, but you need to get things done as in I've checked that off. I've completed the thing, rather than I'm throwing myself into this thing, doing the most top level care to it. And it doesn't require that.
Yeah. Well, it reminds
know?
me of like you brought up when we were talking a while ago of, hey, let's be mindful of where our energy, when we're using our energy and where it's best used.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, I took it as, maybe I don't need to force myself to wake up at 5 a.m. because my energy is already low and it's
Right.
going to take a lot of effort for me to switch. So if I don't have to, how about I save that energy and put it into something else? Like that was the easiest way for me to think of it. But I think that's something he was trying to teach me back in the day. And like, it clicked a little more with you, but then now I remember him doing it. And I was like, that was really, it kind of like took a little weight off, and made it feel a little easier and made it easier for me to work harder at the thing where I was already wanting to give it more effort, figuring out how to become a better musician and composer and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good lesson. Have you thought about that, like throughout, from that point forward? Do you sometimes go, oh, that's right, I don't need to do this?
Yeah, like if I like when I find myself kind of spinning my wheels and getting stuck in my process in the way that, well, if this is my objective, it needs to be done this way. And then I'll kind of be like, okay, hold on. the objective is to get the end result of this. Therefore, the method at which I reach that end, it matters because it matters to me, but I don't have to be so rigid.
Right.
Actually, so that brings up another thing he taught me.
What was that?
This is another thing, and this sticks with me, and I heard it. Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers brought it up in an interview I just watched too. But it's because he was also he was theory, and then he did composition. And I think I took composition with him a couple times, if not a few times. But in theory and then through composition, Mr. Roy was like, you need to know the rules before you can break them. And it felt cumbersome, felt kind of annoying at the time, because I knew what I wanted to hear. I knew what I wanted things to sound like.
Yeah.
Again, it brings up that kind of it's like amateurs. It's childish again, but it's also creativity and it's also wonder. When it's art, or, for me, it's art or music. As an artist, you have an idea of what you want. And that feels so innocent and honest, and you want to protect it, and you think that is like right.
Yeah.
And because it's passion, right? This is coming up a few times. We've both said it. But when you're passionate about something, this came up somewhere else too. So this is why I know this, because I had somebody looked it up and then I looked it up to double check. But the root of passion is suffer. Latin roots are suffer and to undergo, right? And so we think of it as desire and love, and like I was just saying, of how I'm passionate about art and music and things. But at the same time, when somebody tells you, that's great, like him to me, that's great, Keith, you want to write this great music, but there's rules. There's rules for a reason. And so part of that feels like, I have to suffer through doing it the way he wants me to do it. Wagner did it this way, so I have to, or
how dare you,
Ravel or whoever, all these amazing composers that we got to.
Yeah.
So in the moment when you're young and someone's telling you, you have to do it this way, obviously you want to rebel. That's part of youth. Then when it sinks in, there is a craft here. And with the passion of craft, there becomes a certain rigidity, but it's also an excellence, a pursuit of hitting a standard, doing things to a certain spec, right? And so the reason I remember this is in composition, he would take your composition and kind of give you notes and let you go finish it. And there was I had over an octave leap between some notes. And to me, it was dramatic and it worked and it sounded good. And he's like, this is too big of a leap. And I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I know. In my head, I was like, I know. And so I fixed the other things that he wanted me to fix, and I kept that. And he's like, he circled it again. He's like, too big. And I just basically went to him. I'm like, I don't care. I want it this way, but I totally understand what you're telling me. I know that's a rule. And so, and he kind of just laughed. He's like, that's fine. So I got an 8 out of 10 instead of probably 9 out of 10. So I wasn't trying to be incorrigible, but that was kind of the relationship we had.
But you had a vision for where you wanted to go. It's funny, you're making me remember I took composition as well.
Yeah.
And my final project, he didn't even grade it. He turned it back to me and said, you can do better than this. I want you to do it again.
That's hilarious.
And I think I was probably more in the boat of the first one. I wasn't as passionate about writing music as I was playing it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just I want my B or C. And it's kind of fugue-like. It is structurally sound. I followed the rules. There's nothing spectacular about it. But he knew.
It
He's
was
like,
it was rote. Yeah.
yeah. He's just like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that is not.
It's like you can definitely tell you
You
entered
can do
this with
better.
the keyboard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it was sound, but
Yeah. I like how
no,
you're still defending it.
it was.
Like, I'm not defending my choice was my choice, and I understand why he marked it off.
Because I think I thought, because when you say you need to know the rules before you break them, there's part of me that does think, but I'm a rule follower.
Yeah.
I like to know the rules so I can follow them and I can like
Yeah.
check it. But that is, so I don't know if this is right. I'm just thinking that simply compliance,
Yeah.
right? It's not something that is necessarily spectacular or outstanding or something that is coming from passion necessarily. Like I think of my composition piece, I followed the rules.
Mm-hmm.
He still turned it back to me. And I had no desire in breaking them because I just wanted it done. Partially because I wanted to spend time on other things I enjoyed more,
Yeah.
like playing music.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
It's it's interesting, like how far do you go? And because it's for me, I like following the rules in general.
you do.
But when it comes to music, like nothing feels better than a note that makes your head just be like, what? And that's probably because somebody broke a rule, and there's a reason that kind of makes the hair on your arm stand up, or for me anyway, like I feel music through my body like that, and I have those types of, the hair on my neck stands up and stuff. I don't know if that happens to everybody, but for me it does. But anyway, yeah.
I always have found, I think that you can just hear music and see music. Child 2 is very much like that. He can just hear and see it. He loves to create. He loves to create.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can play it, but I don't hear it the same way. No, I'm not saying that like, oh, Keith, I don't hear it the same way. I'm saying that I really think that's something that's pretty extraordinary and a gift that you have. And I always like hearing about it when you're willing to share.
Me trying to explain why what I'm trying to have you listen to is so cool. Don't you hear that? Don't you feel that? And you're just like, uh-huh. Like, that's a flat 5. You're not, that breaks the rules. You weren't supposed to do that back in when Mr. Roy was teaching us about the rules. You're not supposed to have a tritone. That's the devil's music.
That's not one of them. That's not something you're supposed to do.
Feels so good.
Tritones. I tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, I think it's really interesting to hear some of the lessons that you learned in college, and I don't know if there's others that you had, or I'm also thinking about as we're preparing for child 1 and child 2 to kind of get ready for college, and even if they don't quite know exactly what it is they're going to go to school for, or where they want to go or what they want to do, are there things that you're thinking would really be helpful for us to help support them?
Yeah. Well, one, like we ask them questions because we want to help, right? Like, so when we're like, hey, so what college do you want to go to? It's like, whoa, as a kid, you're like, I don't know. Like, I would still feel that way if you ask, like, when you ask me like, when you ask me what I want for dinner, I'm like, I don't know.
It's true.
Part of that is because I'm not sure. I want to give the right response, but like
funny.
Emphasizing that we're not asking because we want an 100% clear, cogent response.
Right.
We're simply trying to help excavate so that you can discover what you want. And also, who cares if you know what your major is on the first day of college?
Like, look at me. I knew exactly what my major was. I knew exactly what I was going to be when I grew up. And I didn't major in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I started a chemistry major, didn't end up there. Was going to be a doctor, medical doctor, not that kind of doctor.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my journey of finding how to get there.
I think the balancing the pressures of needing to kind of figure your life out at 18 feels so weird to me now. I really felt the pressure of, I'm 18, I'm an adult. I could technically be on my own if I had to. Like, I don't think our kids are going to feel that. I hope they don't feel that.
I hope they don't.
I mean, sometimes I want to tell them, like, if you don't shape up, you're out of here. But I'm not serious.
I hope they feel the pull to adulthood.
Yeah.
Right? But not the push into.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I don't want them to, like, have so much time to figure out what they want. I want to, it's like I want to instill the curiosity of exploration and like, and the kind of like a desire to figure it out, even though I don't know what I want, or like if I don't know my purpose, I don't know my direction, I don't know these things, and yet I'm still going to keep moving forward and experimenting to figure, maybe I'll find what that is.
Right.
Instead of, I think I felt more like, well, I like music, and then what? You know, or like I kind of had a bias to inaction because, and I think it's just the way that things are, is like, it's a really hard transition going from being a kid, having most things being dictated to you, told what to do, clean your room, all that stuff. You know, it's stereotypical stuff, but it's like, that's a weird transition into adulthood and being responsible for yourself. And we give them, I'm not trying to pat us on the back here, but we give our kids a decent amount of responsibility. And I don't know if it's the appropriate amount, because sometimes I'm like, I don't make them do enough. And sometimes I'm like, well, I don't want to be too hard on them, because I remember not liking feeling like a large amount of burden on me when I was just trying to graduate from high school.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's tricky. Hence probably why we're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, where's the tension line so that we can address it, and or simply be aware of it so that while we're going through it, it's not so like hidden, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mostly just want to be able to support them in being an active participant in deciding their future.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to say, I think. Does that makes sense? I know that makes sense to you.
Well, there's so many options.
Yeah.
You know, and it can be overwhelming. I mean, I've worked in higher education for over 20 years. And I've worked at community colleges and technical colleges, and I've worked at comprehensive public universities, and they all offer amazing things. You just have to really find your right fit, right?
Yeah.
Of what you're interested in going into, what you are good at, and where you feel the most comfortable and where you feel like you belong. And so I will say it's hard for me to not be overexcited and over like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's go on all the tours.
You mean it's hard for you to dial it down?
Yes, it's hard for me to dial it down.
To not be too much for them. Like, yeah. Because that'll make them shrink a little bit.
And I want them to make their decisions.
Yeah.
You know, I know child one, he sent his ACT scores to the institutions that I've talked a lot about because I've worked at them.
Yeah.
And it just made me smile.
You're a college propagandist. That's so funny.
What do you mean? Because I bring like the t-shirts home from wherever I'm working and the kids have grown up with different
it's all good.
Schools.
No, I think they're see, because like I didn't have that growing up. So it's like I think they're lucky to know. Like, I just knew the word college. I don't think I even knew the word university. Like it felt like, oh, some people go to college.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did.
Well, yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have met.
Probably wouldn't have met.
No. I'm also glad that you threw out your housing form or didn't fill it out. Otherwise, we might not have met.
Yeah. Yeah. We met because I didn't have housing, so I was in temporary housing, which happened to be in the hall that you worked in.
That I worked in.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, but that's in case people haven't heard before. Like, we met because I don't know how to fill out paperwork. / I'm frugal, and I wasn't going to buy the expensive sheets that fit those mattresses. I would just bring a top sheet and put it
no.
Or whatever.
Yeah, you're a dude.
Yes.
You are.
A little practical.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we're kind of at that place where, we get to help support and guide our kids as they make this transition, and also knowing that not every kid decides they want to go to college either, and that could also be a great choice for them. Right now it feels like there's some leaning towards college. Child 1 for sure, child 2 really interested in music programs, which makes me super excited.
Yeah.
But of course, if he comes back and wants to do science or math or music or English, whatever he is excited about, we'll support him in that.
Yeah. So I don't know if I told you this, but we know child 2 is passionate about music, and we tend to talk about that with him a lot, but child 1 is also.
Yeah.
Just in different ways, right?
Different ways. Yeah.
So I was out the other night hanging out with my friends. We had our D&D session.
Yeah.
I came back and it was like pretty early night, like we got home at like 10:30. And walk up and I unlock the door and I open up and child 1 is in the living room rocking out to Green Day, has it playing and is playing with it.
Oh,
and
fun.
It was a decent volume and I was just like,
Nice.
yeah, I couldn't hear it outside. So I was just like, sweet. I'm like, oh yeah. So just so you know, like he's
plugged into an amp?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. No, he had it cranked up in speakers, so he's playing around along with it. So I'm like, this is awesome. And child 2 was there. They're just hanging out, and he was playing through the stuff that's they were in the living room playing. So that was really fun. And I'm like,
that is fun.
Actually, yeah, I went to unlock the door and I'm like, why is the door unlocked? I'm like, I'm pretty sure I locked the door behind me. And child 2 is like, he's like, oh, I went out to see if people could hear the music outside. I'm like look, they're pretty
thoughtful.
Yeah, they're pretty smart.
That's pretty thoughtful.
I'm like, good for you. I'm like, well, I couldn't hear it. So
yeah,
it was fun.
That is fun.
I thought you'd like that.
I do. Yeah, child 1 likes music too. I love that he loves Green Day and Weezer and the Flaming Lips and the things that I grew up with. So I take that.
There were a couple other things that I.
Oh, okay.
Because you were asking about if there's any other lessons.
Oh, sure.
I learned from college. I love when you propose things like that, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, top 5 lessons.
But a BuzzFeed article.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Is that what you feel like? Oh gosh, I always click on those.
Yeah. Well, I want some tips and tricks. Come on. But so I was an English minor, creative writing minor.
Right.
And I learned a lot of great things about, how to communicate. I also took some communication courses and like some other things, but like being in like literature classes and writing, Dr. Furness,
oh yeah,
David, great. I have a hard time calling like professors by their first names a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'll call him Dr. Furness. Great guy, a mentor. He was into music too. He kind of like, just from being who he was, like taught me, how to go beyond simply saying, I like this because it's cool. It's like, he's like, well, okay, explain it, like help us understand, and like tell us in an interesting way why you think what you think, that's just kind of hung with me. Not that I do it all the time. Sometimes I'm just like, isn't this awesome? Like, it's okay to just simply enjoy something. And then also Dr. Brantley, she ran the workshops, the writing workshops that I took a couple of those, and those were in the evenings and were with cohorts where we wrote and shared our writing with each other, and then we critiqued.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot about how to get feedback, give feedback, how to be kind when you're critical.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about being critical, it's about asking for more information and stuff like that. So when you talk about like that, I'm a good editor.
You are? Yeah.
I learned that in high school. I had really good high school teachers, but really found my way of my editing, or the way that my vision of how, like, and it's my vision. Like, and I always tell you, like, well, I wouldn't say it like this. And I'm like, but you are writing in a much different way than I would write. And that's for a reason. And, so I found my lens and my critical eye really developed because of all of my professors for the most part. And same with like Dr. Newhouse, an amazing teacher. And I had him for like poetry and some other creative nonfiction and creative fiction. All these things really helped me grow in the things that I cared so much about, and yet wasn't sure about how to go about becoming better.
Right.
And that's what college is, right?
It is.
Like, how do you find a way to level up and, kind of excel in the things that you care about, and learn some things that you didn't know you cared about, like taking those generals and stuff. Like, as a learner, it's a great environment to learn what you didn't expect, kind of thing. So like, I don't know, it sounds all weird, but like, I started off, I just want to make sure I'm clear. I had a great time in college. It was tricky and different than I expected, but like, I'm still connected to some of the professors, or like my recording professor, Craig. I call him Craig. It's easy to call him Craig. Great guy. Says happy birthday to me on Facebook. I wish I could see him like once or twice a month, like, and just hang out and talk about music or something. Like, so it's a pretty magical time, and like still be connected to it.
Sure.
And to see that maybe our kids might be to the same place that we met. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. You did like rapid fire lesson at the end there.
I didn't know. I guess I didn't know what we were talking about today.
No, it's good. I think it's good that you shared those.
Yeah. I mean, do you have anything? I feel like I really rambled off.
I mean, I wanted to focus more on like you and just see what things are resonating with me from your experience.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else then?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Should we just wrap it up?
Yeah, let's just wrap it up.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.
You're goofy.
What is this? I'm goofy. Well, it happens.